Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from Florida. On the East Coast. If you're from the great state of Florida, give me a shout out in the comments and tell me where you're located. And if you are in Florida, I believe it's Floridians. And so I'm living the hotel life over here for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be jumping around a few different places. So I'm going to do my best to get you as much alpha content as possible during that time. I do have a few challenges here. It's been a little bit glitchy, and the Wi-Fi is not always great as I'm used to, as well as the lighting, but I'm doing my best here. So in the Discord, if you haven't signed up for the Discord, the Stocks with Josh Discord, I'm in the crypto channel every day. The links are below. There are 2 plans listed below. Certainly, I haven't been in as much the last couple of days in traveling, but I will be in there as much as I am able to. But there are some great people in there, the absolute best community, giving some great alpha content in there. So I really encourage you to get involved in that. So again, welcome. Smash the like. You know what to do if you haven't done so already. This helps get this content out to more people. Love reading the comments and the questions. I look to get back to those as quickly as I can. And if you'd love to join this ever-growing community, you can click the subscribe button. You'll be notified when there is new content. So wherever you are tuning in, I really appreciate you and thank you for educating yourself and being involved in this crypto journey together. All right, we're going to start with some Bitcoin news because we had a pretty low CPI number come in, lower than was expected, but the Bitcoin price was meant to go hot, but it fell kind of flat. But I am going to start with something a little bit funny. I hope you find it funny. Josh always starts with something a little bit funny. I'm going to try and start with something funny here. I hope you enjoy it. 6 packs, 0 Bitcoin. 6 Bitcoin, 0 packs. There we go. All in on Bitcoin. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, but let's move right along. So what happened? What happened was the US government sent 10K. Look, just so happened on the day that CPI came in lower, what did the US government do? It sent 10,000 Bitcoin with 593 million to Coinbase. And that caused people to panic, unfortunately, just like the German panic. Although Germany did end up selling, there was a bit of panic with the Mt. Gox, although that ended up being a little bit of a nothing burger there. I think they're still distributing there. Obviously, it has impacted price for sure. So certainly, I think that probably was most likely the catalyst there because there are just too many bullish things going on. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, balance on exchanges just hit an all-time low, supply shock incoming. In fact, it was so low that it was at 2018 levels, not seen since November 2018, 6 years ago. So that is absolutely huge that we're seeing Bitcoin being scooped up by these whales and taken off the exchanges. We've got the bullish cup and handle. How can this not play out? All we need to do is come back to here, complete the handle, and then push out. And the upward target is 125,000. And then we've got just more bullish thing, one bullish thing after another going on, because we've got the halving history here. In 2016, there was a 40% dump led by 2,300%. 2020, 30% dump, 560% pump. 2024, 30% dump, some consolidations, and are we going to see a repeat there? You know, we are following the exact cycles. So when Bitcoin price goes down or sideways, consolidates, its accumulation, we can take confidence. Now, listen, market doesn't always, they say, it doesn't always repeat, but it always rhymes. Something like that. Maybe I butchered that. Again, 170 days for a breakout after the halving. 168 days after the halving. So we're at 129 days. We've got about 35, 40 days to go. I mean, this is pretty close. There's only 2 days difference. So if we match around that time, it's only going to be sometime in September, mid to late September here that we're looking if we follow the previous cycles here. Okay, on average, Bitcoin peaks 480 days after the halving. We're currently 117 days after the Bitcoin halving. We are here. So certainly, if it plays out, we still have another 480 days of a bull market to go. Don't be shaken out by the FUD. Even the bearish cross is bullish on the daily chart. I covered this maybe a week ago, where there's a bearish cross. The last bearish cross was, and this is where the 50 EMA crossing below the 200 EMA, short-term weakness in the market, but it's kind of a lagging indicator, as I pointed out before. The last time it happened was 15,500 was the start of the second bearish cross, sorry. So the first bearish cross was here. That was the bottom. And then there was another one at 25, marked another pretty significant bottom, local bottom. And then, but after that, the price went sideways for a few weeks, reclaiming it. And if the pattern repeats here, we might see a few weeks of choppy price action here. And then we should see a bullish cross. So really, it's just, again, these bearish crosses are really bullish. They're kind of a lagging indicating, say, hey, the market has bottomed or it's close to a bottom. We could see some choppy sideways. I mean, Russia, this is trillions of dollars here. The Russian minister says today the new trade law allowing crypto for settlement has been accelerated starting in 5 weeks from today. 35 days. Didn't we see that this was 35 days? Where was that news article there? I think it was here. 35 days. Yeah, 35 days. And what do we have here? We have about 35 days, approx 19 September. This is a major crypto macro event. Russia traders in the trillions annually. Okay, and we've got the FTX. Billions. What is it? Billions and billions of dollars coming from FTX, coming back to crypto people who had that money frozen from them. If you look at the crash in 2020 versus the Japan yen collapse in 2024, if Bitcoin continues to copy the current range, look at this. You see what happened? Bang, we're out. The idea is this broadening wedge is a bullish pattern, okay? And if we see this, then we could see some quite good acceleration in the upside. Of course, according to El Crypto Professor, 54,000 must hold for this to happen. Certainly wick down there, but I think, it closes below that. That would break down below that. So what else we've got other news. MetaMask has just launched a debit card in partnership with MasterCard. I'm not sure quite how that works. I've got MetaMask. I'm going to have to look into that. The whole idea of MetaMask is you trade anonymously and privately, obviously, as long as you use a VPN. The NordVPN is in the link in the description below, and that allows you to trade anonymously and privately. If you don't have a VPN, your location and identity are exposed to the world, okay, out there, especially hackers and bad actors, etc. But certainly maybe it's just something that you get and is in your name, and you can keep your MetaMask account separate and can send money from your MetaMask account to your MasterCard. I'm not sure how that works, if it's linked or whatever, but certainly it is bullish for crypto in my opinion. But then we also have more bullish news because there is an Apple tap to pay in crypto. And so this will, what seems to be the case is you can probably pay from your Phantom wallet or other Solana wallets in crypto like USDC, or possibly play in Solana, although usually I think you would pay in USDC. Of course, you can already do that with the Coinbase debit card. You can actually pay with your USDC. So although this is pretty amazing, you can already do this. You can tap to pay all the time using that. So yeah, but I mean, this is cool too. Don't get me wrong. This means that all, not just Coinbase debit cards, but also probably from your Phantom wallet and other Solana and maybe other wallets as well out there. So this is pretty crazy. Look, Apple opens iPhone payment chip to third parties for the first time, making Bitcoin and crypto tap to pay possible. So I think it's not just Solana or USDC. I think it's going to be whatever hot wallets are out there. You're going to be able to pay with crypto with a tap to pay via your iPhone. Pretty bullish. Let's talk about Ethereum. It's a bit depressing. Certainly, I did close out of a large Ethereum position before it dumped. I'm so glad because I've redistributed that money into projects like Sui and Tau and Banana and Arweave and Render. Those five, maybe one other, Solana. I'm not sure how I spread that around. Very glad I did because what happened? Tau and Sui rocket shipped. So that was a great trade. I did share that in the Discord. I told people I closed that trade. I still have my Ethereum ETF. I still have an Ethereum swing trade open, but I took my ETH HODL position and I pushed all of that. And I'm so glad that I did that because obviously Tau went almost up 200%. Tau went up 100%. Sui went up almost 200% from the low that it made. So that ended up being absolutely fantastic. But look, here's the one issue that I have with Ethereum, and I'm bullish on Ethereum. It's in my crypto cheat sheet. The issue that I have with Ethereum is the supply is not capped out. They can just increase more Ethereum into the market. It's been inflationary. You can see here inflation has surged. Following the switch to the proof of stake and layer 2 solutions have increased demand. Now, would I be selling my Ethereum here? No, because it's possibly right at the bottom. Okay, but certainly if I hadn't have sold there, and I'm just being honest, and this is me, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education, entertainment purposes only. What would I do with my Ethereum? I would start scaling out of Ethereum as it starts to push up and take profit on the way up, all the way up to 4,600, 54,000. I have all those levels in the cheat sheet, so I wouldn't be necessarily dumping it. I think the time to get out was when I got out. And then Ethereum absolutely crashed down from like 3,500 or something down to 2,200 or something. I got out right in the nick of time and be able to roll all that liquidity into other tokens. So that worked out pretty well. So yeah, it's just been a little bit of a sad tale there. But again, this is one of the issues I have with Ethereum. It is inflationary. It can at times it can become deflationary, but it recently has been quite inflationary. So the supply is increasing. That pushes the price down, okay? And so I really like coins a lot more that have a capped supply, like Bitcoin, like Potenza Tau, okay? And so yeah, just be mindful of that with Ethereum. I'm not saying sell your Ethereum. I'm just saying that I certainly reduced my overall position in Ethereum down. I de-risked a little bit there, and I'm lucky. I'm glad that I did that. And certainly, I've got into other tokens that have really helped out. Okay, the VIX, we'll switch to kind of stock market stuff here for a second before we go to the Bitcoin charts. But the VIX has declined 58% over the last 7 trading days, the biggest 7-day volatility crash in history. This has never happened before. So we had the Japanese yen crash with the stock market. The VIX went flying. Stocks dumped. I scooped up. Okay, and now stocks are starting to recover, and we've seen some good stock market recover. I think Nvidia went down as low as like 94. I got some at 94. Now it's back to about 120. And so we haven't seen that transfer over to crypto because I feel that the crypto market is rolling a little bit detached from the stock market at this moment. It's certainly a smaller market cap, more easily manipulated. And I think we're still in the accumulation phase with Bitcoin. We're not ready to take on just look yet. And this is quite cool. Look at the top 20 VIX crashes, VIX, VIX, the volatility index, and how the S&P 500 fared going forward. You can see pretty well. So whenever we had massive declines over the trading days, we've seen quite significant upside in the stock market for the most part. Maybe just 2021 was the outlier there. That was the just post drop there, but otherwise it's been pretty good. The average has been about 97%, and the average for the top 20 and average over all time periods has been 71% gain over 5 years. But you see, even within a year, it's up quite significantly. So whenever the VIX tops out, that's always, for me, a good indicator. Jump into stocks. That's why I created the stock section on the cheat sheet, which is here. Immediately when I saw that happen, I created the stocks. I created all the entries there. If you got in some of these entries here that got hit, then that's been great. Maybe some more others of these got hit. I haven't had a chance to update while traveling. So certainly the stock section there, I think, is has been really, really great. Okay, and then I learned something today about the lipstick index. Apparently, economic studies show that during a recession, women purchase more lipstick. It actually makes Ulta a defensive name in the stock market. And so Buffett, he went and poured in like 270 million into Ulta, and Ulta went up from like $230 or 220 up to 260 just today. Boom, when the stock market opened, when news broke of Warren Buffett had poured into, takes $250 million stake in Ulta Beauty. So Ulta is down 32% year to date. I guess he's going long to make up. I'm sure the pun is intended. So I didn't add any Ulta because the price had already jumped pre-market trading and kind of stayed where it had, but certainly that jumped up significantly by I think it was about $30 or something like that. So I found that absolutely fascinating. And of course, if you haven't started, I don't think it's too late for the X Empire game. Free airdrop where you'll be dropped free tokens for participating in the game, following them on Telegram, YouTube, Twitter, and participating in the game. I have some videos on that. Find that in my YouTube. Actually, I'm going to create a new on my cheat sheet, airdrops, and I'm going to find some new airdrops as well. We're currently participating in Hamster Kombat and in the X Empire. Click the link below in the description if you want to get signed up for that game to receive the free airdrop. They are going to launch the token in September or October. I think it's going to be October, in my opinion. Rocktober, that's the time that we predict the market to take off. And they're going to list the token and the airdrop on the same day, so you can sell your tokens and take some free money on there. So that would be absolutely great. We don't know how much that's going to be, but hopefully it's going to be a good amount. I think you still have time. Okay, let's jump into the Bitcoin charts here as we close this out. So we just look, as always, I've said if we're below the 200 EMA on the daily, the risk is to the downside. It's bearish, short-term bearish anyway. But generally speaking, historically speaking, if you go back and look at my charts as I've been updating over the last few days before previous videos here, I've gone back and shown you that every time that Bitcoin's been under the 200 EMA has been a good time to accumulate Bitcoin and altcoins, okay? And it is, again, under the 200 EMA on the daily. Usually it doesn't go far below, number one. And number two, it doesn't stay under there for really much longer than a couple of months. At most times, it's usually just about a week or two. And at the longest I've kind of seen is a couple of months. This time years ago in the last bull market, it spent a couple of months under here from about August, coincidentally through to about, it was October. So it was August, September, October. Yeah, so 2 months. So we could see the same, a lot of sideways chop, a lot of ways downside, kind of slushy, choppy. I mean, Bitcoin dominance is down a little bit, so maybe the alts will have a little bit of a run. But so what am I seeing for price targets for Bitcoin? Well, number one, we can come back up here and test the 200 EMA on the daily, 59,500. If we get through that, then we've still got the 50-day moving average at 61,300. And then we got the trend line resistance here at about 63. So there's a fair bit of resistance here to get through. So I'm probably leaning to a little bit more action here, possibly. But Bitcoin has just gone up and down over this line here. So we just could see a little bit more of the same, to be honest. And you see the ribbon though this ribbon is actually the EMA ribbon with some fast, slow, and medium ribbons here. As you can see, that is providing some resistance here. And you can see since we broke down from the ribbon, this has kind of been where it's at, which is quite close to the 200 EMA on the daily. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking, first of all, at around this 55,000 level here, 55,300, 55,500. And then we've got the trend line support, and this has beautifully been support here. You can see this trend line that I put in long before Bitcoin even came down to this price. If you look back on previous videos, you'll be going, why is this trend line there? There's nothing supporting it. Yeah, but look, if you go back in time and you look here, it has been a pretty powerful support here and resistance. If we go even further back there, look at that support, and support has been great. Now it's support again, and I drew this in quite some time ago, and you can look back in the videos when we're probably around here going, where is this? Why is this support there? This is why it's here, because we have not closed under it. Okay, so this is sitting at around right now. If it was to come down to it tomorrow, it's going to be around 54,000 there, and of course it's going up. And then if we were to break down below there and wick below that, then we've got down here at 51,500, which was about half of this liquidity wick here, the stopping volume candle. Look, I would be surprised if we went below here, to be honest. I think this was my local bottom here. We have a local bottom here. We could come down and create a inverse head and shoulders here, of course, which would be fantastic. Certainly very bullish. But I'm feeling that this I'd be surprised. But look, here's what I do say is that the Silk Road Bitcoin, if the government starts selling that off, which would be crazy in my opinion for them to do that, they'll be completely and utterly mocked for it when Bitcoin hits 100K, whoever would be behind that decision. But certainly we could see a lower low created. And look, I wouldn't want to see Bitcoin go any lower than around this 44,000 level, because then the miners would be underwater and that could cause them to capitulate. And then we're really in trouble if we get down here. This is kind of like bear market territory here, and we'd have to really question if we're still in a bull market. So I've seen some people pose that 43 incoming, 44 incoming. Certainly it's possible. Certainly if the Silk Road Bitcoin gets sold, it becomes more possible. But without any kind of catalyst or crazy news event like a war or something wild that comes out, economic data, or the Silk Road Bitcoin being sold, I'm really seeing a nice local low here. And then we should look at, just bouncing around here, maybe coming down this trend line, and then eventually pushing our way out of here come October, just to get out of this area. So that's what I'm kind of seeing. So if I was looking to buy in a Bitcoin, I'd be looking at, this 55 level, 55,500, probably a little bit lower at 54. And then 51,500 would be the level. That's the level I'm targeting as possible come down to test, but I'm not seeing us go lower than this wick here without some kind of news catalyst to create that situation happening. Alrighty, well, I am going to leave it there. And as always, until the next time, happy trading.